you've ever felt that debilitating feeling of fear, being consumed by fear, that it holds you back, that it keeps you stuck, and it literally consumes you, then today's video is for you. I'm Candice Bester from Grit Grow, and welcome to another episode of our Grit Community Series. So today we're going to be unpacking what fear is, understanding what it is, explaining or understanding what the three types of fear are, that fear is actually an illusion. We're going to be delving into that, and then how to ultimately overcome fear. So what is fear? Fear is a natural emotion that originates from our past experiences and memories. Our brains are wired to associate certain stimuli or situations with potential threats, triggering a fear response. This response was designed to protect us from harm, but it can become outdated and irrational, holding us back from living fully. By recognizing that our fears are often rooted in past events, not present realities, we can begin to break free from their grip. By understanding the source of our fears, we can rewire our brains to respond differently, allowing us to face our fears with courage and confidence. So as you can see, it is something that comes from our past. It's triggered in the present moment, but the fear is generally not about what's happening in the moment. So how do we know this? So there are three types of fear. The first one is irrational fear. And this is the fear based on a real intangible threat, for example, a snake or heights or physical harm. So you are being hijacked. That's a real fear. Your body goes into fight or flight, and it's because you need to protect yourself. That's the only rational fear. Then you get irrational fears, and that's not based on a real threat, but it might be of spiders. Okay, the spider's just sitting there. It hasn't bitten you, and it is probably not poisonous, but you have this uncontrollable fear, which is irrational. Or maybe being exposed to something like, enclosed spaces, or maybe you're extremely scared of flying. And then you get emotional fear. So those are the fears that are bringing up triggers from the past. So maybe rejection or abandonment, failure, even success. Yes, that's a very real fear. Many people are scared of success. So we're going to be delving into that emotional fear that we've just spoken about. So the good news is that fear is actually an illusion. So it is a trickery of the mind. Fear is an illusion that tricks us into believing danger is present when it actually isn't. It's a projection of our past experiences and memories onto this present moment, creating a false sense of threat. In reality, most of the things we fear are not actually happening in the here and the now. And by recognizing that our fears are merely mental constructs, we can begin to see through the illusion and free ourselves from its grip. When we do, we'll discover that the present moment is almost always safe, and that fear was just a shadow cast by our minds. So I really, really want to reiterate that when something happens in the present moment and you can identify the feeling that's coming up is fear, then you can actually deal with it. And I'm going to get to how to overcome that fear in a moment. But before I do that, I want to share with you a personal experience of how I overcame something very real and very present, but was triggering something from the past. So you're also going to notice that your triggers that bring up fear there's a theme in them. So they're similar, or the one thing that I noticed was every single time I heard the doorbell ring, or I heard somebody driving up the driveway, or the gate, or a buzzer, literally my body would go into fight or flight. So shallow chest breathing, heart pounding, it literally made no sense. I'm like, there's nothing scary happening here. And so I did what I'm just about to teach you how to do, but I sat down and I literally just closed my eyes and I asked myself, when did I feel this in the past? When did this familiar feeling come up? And it was so simple. It came up immediately. So from very, very young, when something had maybe happened at school, or at home and my mother didn't have the capacity to deal with it, she'd say to me, I'm not dealing with this, just wait until your dad gets home. And I'm sure many of you can relate to that. And so I would sit in that space for 3, 4, 5, however many hours it was going to take. But I knew that when he came home, there was going to be some kind of consequence. And so my brain and my behavioral pattern, literally, it's like Pavlov's dog. I hear the sound, I hear the bell, I go into fight or flight, and it brings up the exact same emotions I had when I was 6 or 7 or 8 or 9. So once I had established where it had come from, I could sit in it and go, right, so what is the actual truth here? The truth is, I'm safe. The truth is, my dad hasn't been alive for nearly 20 years. Nobody's coming. There is nothing to be scared of. Everything is just absolutely okay. And can I tell you, the minute I realized that, the minute that I found where the fear came from and I could tell the truth about it, half an hour later, the doorbell rang and there was zero anxiety in my body. Literally zero anxiety. So how do we overcome this fear? So I'm going to give you 5 steps. Grab a pen and a paper and let's take notes. So firstly, it is so important that you acknowledge the fear. You have to say, right, I see you. You have to notice it. So the self-awareness comes in. I see you. I absolutely acknowledge you. You are real. You are there. Acknowledge the fear. Step number 1. Step number 2 is ask yourself, like I did, when did you feel this in the past? So it's a bit of a process. So you sit down, you close your eyes, and you take yourself back to an earlier childhood memory. Something is going to pop up and it's going to make so much sense. It's like a giant piece of your puzzle is going to fit into place. And then step number 3 is you have to tell the truth about the situation. In other words, I'm not 8. Nobody's coming. I am safe. Tell the truth. Even if it is something that you maybe made a mistake today, or something that actually really did happen today, tell yourself, like, there's nobody going to punish me. Nothing scary is just about to happen. I made a mistake. What did I learn? I'm human. Like, those are the kind of things you want to be telling yourself when you're going through the truth. And then step number 4, and this is so important, is you have to give that part of you love. Give it love, and love it with everything that you have. Give it attention you would give a 2-year-old. So you're going to tell it that it no longer serves a purpose, and you're going to thank it for protecting you all these years. Because it's not. So you're going to have a mantra, and your mantra is going to say, thank you for protecting me in the past. I no longer need your protection. You can go. You can go, you can go, you can go. And then notice what happens to your body, by the way. And then lastly, and this is step number 5, is you have to create a new narrative. You have to tell yourself things like, good things do happen. There's nothing to be scared of. I am safe. My life is safe. Because if you actually look around you, that is the 100% truth. That is the truth. So if you grew up in a home where there was a lot of punishments and consequences and fear, it's going to be harder to walk this process and this road. But I'm absolutely 100% sure that you can do it and that you do have what it takes. You just need to notice it and give it the love, tell yourself a different story, and start to predict good things and truly believe that there is good and that good things are happening and that you're not going to get into trouble. So I really hope that something that I said in this video resonated and that you can overcome that fear, because it is the most debilitating, paralyzing feeling, and it is not going to make you reach your goals or to create the future that I absolutely know is on its way. So please, we do 100% rely on you to like these videos, to share them, and to all your reactions are moving these videos forward. So please, until next time.